Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Wepia and I'm from About Faith. In today's video, I'm going to be talking to all of you who claim you don't have time in this life. Okay, so without saying so much, let's get right into today's video. Okay, to my I don't have time squad. First of all, I want to say that there's always going to be an excuse for every single thing that you want to do in this life. The biggest excuse, which is a lie, is I don't have time. Now, we always see posts on social media that say that, well, I've seen it quite a number of times, that nobody really has time, right? People make time, which is true. And depending on what is important to you, you'd actually make time for it. Okay. It's like how everybody claims they don't have money, but they always have money to buy data. And you're always wondering. And then, to be very honest, no matter how broke a person is, right, they would always find money to buy data. And that is how addicted they are to the internet. And so they always find money to buy data. But when it comes to doing stuff to develop yourself, develop your personal brand, grow you, and stuff like that, you always don't have time. So you want to go to the gym, you don't have time. You always find excuses for everything, right? And so I just came to talk to all of you here that claim you don't have time, and I want to give you a few tips that helped me. First of all, I've already mentioned my first point, that there will always be excuses for everything. So it is in your power and it is in your control to rise above those excuses, to rise above those things, because excuses will always come your way. And because a lot of times the things that you're trying to do are quite demanding, right, and they are not really the simplest things to do, you'll always have to find excuses to either do them or not to do them. Okay, but then if you're able to plan your day well and put some structure into your day, you would actually realize that there is enough time for you, which leads me to my second point. Okay, you are probably putting a lot of things in your schedule that aren't supposed to be there. Now let's get this point straight and once and for all. Take it or leave it. God is too sovereign. He is too wise. He is too knowledgeable to give us 24 hours in a day. He is not a wicked God that will give us 24 hours and tell us that I know that this 24 hours is not enough for these humans, but let me give it to them for them to suffer. God is not wicked. So that should tell you that God is too sovereign. The 24 hours that He has given us in a day is more than enough to rest. It's more than enough to do all the things you are supposed to do to get you into the purpose that God has created for your life. I'm going to say that again. The 24 hours in a day is more than enough for you to rest and do all that you are supposed to do to put you or place you into the purpose that God has planned for you. And so if you find out that the 24 hours are first of all not enough, secondly, you are not really achieving purpose, you are just busy for nothing, then the fault is from you and not even from God. It is not that the 24 hours is not enough. It is just that you are mismanaging your 24 hours, or you have put in too much stuff for the 24 hours and you are unable to juggle them all together. So first of all, with this point, I'd say that go back to your maker. Look, there is nothing that you would ever need, that you would ever want, that God will not give you. His word says that the Spirit of God is here to teach us, enable us, and guide us into all truth, which means the Spirit of God is here to teach you. He's not just here to teach you into spiritual matters. A lot of us think that when it comes to the Spirit of God just teaches us, prophesy to this person, tell him that he'll be rich. Those things are external. To be very honest, God is interested in your upkeep, because He knows that in your self-development, in you becoming a better person, in you becoming more like Him, you are able to also draw souls to Him. Do you understand? So God is also interested in the way you go about your life, the way you are able to organize, the way you are able to structure. Look at something. God created the world in 7 days. All these beautiful things that we see, the sea, the trees, the what. He created all these things and still had time to rest on the seventh day. All that while, God was just giving us a cue on how to put structure in place. So God had it in mind that on the first day, I'm going to create this and this. On the second day, I'll create that and that and that. Third day, this and this. But you, human being, you will not plan. You will not say, oh, on this day I'm going to do this, on that day I'm going to do this. You just juggle everything in one day. You are not magical. Also, stop accepting projects even when your schedule is full. Some of us have that thing in us. We cannot say no. Oh, would you do this for me? Yes, you add it to your schedule. Would you do this for me? You are not El Shaddai. You are not the author and finisher of our faith. You are a human being. When we look on the cross, Apostle Joshua Selman said this, that he looked on the cross, like he was talking about all this always being there for people. And he entered the church one time and then he looked on the cross and he realized that he was not the one on the cross, it was Jesus. You cannot do everything for everybody. Learn to say no, or you will keep making that excuse that you don't have time. You are not Jesus. You really didn't die for us. Like, when you look on the cross, we don't see you. We see Jesus. In the Bible, we don't see your name. We don't see Wepia died for us. We see Jesus died for us. And so let Jesus be Jesus and be Wepia, or be yourself. Don't try to take up more tasks than you should. So the long and short of this point is that, first of all, pray. Tell God that He'll teach you to organize and plan your day. It really worked for me because I realized that, and for me, my own was, I was so anxious. I felt like I had a lot to do. I wasn't really doing it right, and I wasn't achieving what I wanted to achieve. I prayed, I asked God to help me structure my day, help me plan my time. So right now, I think no has become my default button. I will not even stress if I feel like what you are planning to do will make me stress or go outside my schedule or stuff like that. Just say no and be free, and tell the person that, say no. Tell the person that, oh, I could do this, I could fix you on this other day. Would it be convenient for you, or would it do this and this for you? Don't try to juggle all things in one just because you want to do everything at the same time. To be very honest, if you die, you will be replaced, and it will be very sad that you died when God didn't tell you that it's time to die, but you decided to do everything because you think you are God Himself, and you die prematurely. Go to heaven, and then I said go to heaven. Go and meet Jesus on the judgment arena, and realize that you didn't achieve purpose. It's not really gonna be cool. And the people that you were really dying for, they are still alive, and they might have time to repent. I don't think you want to do that to yourself, to be very honest. You don't. Number 3, and this is something that I think that you should do, even though I choose to believe that not everybody will have the time to do it because of, depending on your geographical location. Like if you live in Accra, okay. But let me just go ahead and say it. And then if you live in Accra, I might help you and figure out a way on how we can go about this, right? Number 3 is have a morning routine, okay? This is very important. It's very, very important. I know that we have been reading this. I mean, when I was back in uni, when I Google stuff like, oh, how can you be successful? Every time I Google, it's always like, wake up early. But I didn't understand why everybody's saying wake up early. Wake up early to do what? To be honest, wake up early to do what? But I realized that when you wake up early, your day is longer. And in that sense, when you wake up early, if you're waking up early, go to bed early so that you'll be rested enough, okay? So wake up early, have a morning routine. If you wake up at 4:30, have a routine. Oh, I pray from this time to this time. I do this from this to this time. So personally, right, I always used to make an excuse. I like reading, right? But then back then I used to make excuses like I didn't have time to read and stuff like that. So I decided, I put this in my morning routine recently. It's about last year, the latter part of last year, I put it in my morning routine. So when I wake up, I read 2 chapters of the book that I'm currently on, okay, or the book that I'm reading at that moment. I read 2 chapters depending on how voluminous the chapter is, right? I read 2 chapters. If it's quite interesting, I feel like I can go like 3. Sometimes I even read 1, or some chapters it's just 1 chapter, but they are separated into different subjects, right? So I read just that subject. But at the end of the day, I make sure that every morning I move a step ahead in my book. Okay, so I do not just get up and say so with these kinds of things. If you are waiting for time to just fall on your hand, you probably will not get the time. So if you are the type that wants to do bulk cooking, wake up early. You don't really have to wait till Saturday. I remember those times when I used to live alone, right? I was working far away from home, so I was living, like, I had rented an apartment and I was living on my own. When I was on my own, I used to do that. So instead of me waking up on Saturday morning and now thinking that I have to cook, I have to do this for the week, I have to clean my room, maybe I have to send my things to the laundry. I don't do none of that. I use my mornings wisely. So in the morning, after I have my devotion, maybe I've read a book, I've listened to a sermon, I've done something. I mean, I have to get to work at 7:30. Work starts at 7:30. So anytime before 7:30 is my time. So if I wake up at 4, I'm able to calculate, do my stuff. I can wake up on Friday morning and clean my hall, clean my kitchen, clean my bathroom before I go to work. Like, basically, you do all those stuff, calculate and know when you can get to work. You understand? Like, use your mornings wisely. If you need your morning, if you say you are working on a book, use your mornings wisely. If you are trying to prepare content or something, if you're a content creator, you want to prepare content, use your mornings. So all this, I don't have time, don't sleep day, wake up at 9 o'clock, you don't even know where to start from. And then when you wake up late, right, it puts a lot of pressure on you. And I've realized this, because you wake up late, the day has already started. Everybody has started something. And personally, from my personal point of view, when I wake up late, I don't even like it, because when I wake up late, I'm in a hurry to go through my quiet time, because I feel like, especially on Saturdays, I feel like, my mother has started sweeping here. I don't like it when I wake up and my mother is sweeping and I'm in the room in the name of praying. So I try my possible best to wake up early. So wake up like 4. By the time everyone else's day starts for them, you can also join in and then start your day. Sometimes if you are living in an environment like mine, where you pretty much don't really have a schedule of your own, because everybody channels their day and their routine into yours, your mornings are quite good for you to also do your personal stuff before you start doing everyone else's stuff, right? Also, I feel like you go like, you're a nocturnal person, and I don't dispute the fact that you are a nocturnal person, but sometimes at night you get tired. And so when you're tired, you shift it to the next day. The next day you don't wake up again, you shift it to the night. At night you're tired, and it becomes a cycle, and you end up achieving nothing. So use your mornings wisely. Okay, use your mornings wisely. Also, quit the number of hours that you spend on social media. But I'm sure Android should have it, but then for iPhones, you can have screen time, okay, for your social media apps. I set my screen time for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, I don't get WhatsApp notifications. I don't get Instagram notifications, Snapchat, Telegram. I don't get any social media notification. If you really need to text me, if you really need to contact me, send me a random text, or you give me a call, and I think that is fine. Limit the number of hours you spend on social media. To be very honest, we all claim that we don't have time, but then if you sit down, sometimes and with my phone, it gives you a weekly report of maybe your downtime and then your screen time and stuff. There was a time my weekly report came and I spent 7 hours on an average that week on social media. 7 good hours. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. Okay, there's a lot of time. We all claim that, I don't have time for everything, but if you're spending 7 hours on an average on social media, just scrolling, tapping like, laughing, commenting, how do you say you don't have time when you're spending 7 hours on social media? Do you understand where the ineffectiveness is coming from. We all claim we don't have time, but look at the number of hours we spend on social media. It's not cool, right? It's really not cool. So I think that you should limit the number of hours you spend on social media. Lastly, I'd say that you should join support groups, especially for people that, support groups and book clubs, especially for people that love to read. We could create a mini book club. I am trying, depending on how the year goes, may God help me, but then as time goes on, we might create a mini book club, right? For a lot of us that want to read Christian books and stuff like that. So we have a mini book club that we can all come together so that we can hold each other accountable if we truly want to read and grow, right? So I am still working on that. Hopefully as time goes on it will come out, right? So that we have a mini book club, have a support group and stuff like that. Things that will actually hold you accountable. Okay. I feel like there's nothing like saying that you don't have time. You make time and then you make excuses for not having time. Okay, so everything about us is made, everything about us is in our mindset. When we decide to lose a lot of belief systems, a lot of mindsets that we are holding in high esteem, we would be fine. We would actually be fine. Okay, so a lot of times it's just about our mindset. I think lastly, this just came off the top of my mind while I was speaking. Lastly, I'd say you should start. Okay, make down payments. Usually if you want to do something, okay, and you make down payments, when your money goes into it, you know that, except of course you didn't pay for it yourself, but when your money goes, your hard-earned money goes into something, you will follow through. You know that you are paying for it, you will not give up. Okay, so sometimes I feel like if you want to do something, and then you are making excuses of not having time, first thing is make down payments for it. When you make down payments for it, people, they will now be calling you like, hello, it is time for this, so hello, it is time for that, so then start. Okay, so start, basically start by making down payments. If it's something that you're supposed to pay for, start by making down payments. And if you're like me and you don't like embarrassment in your life, when you open your mouth to say something, you actually do it, because you don't want anyone to come to ask you that, hey, I thought you said you'd be doing this thing you didn't do. So sometimes it's not good to stop playing, but when you open your mouth to say it, it pushes you to also go ahead and do whatever you have set to do, right? I'm going to link majority of the videos that I did about boundaries and about us developing ourselves for this year, and I think this is one of the videos that will also help us to develop ourselves for the year, because I made mention at the beginning of the year. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it here for you. I made mention at the beginning of the year that we are not slacking, okay? And so I taught us how to make plans for the year and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it up here for you so that you can start with that. Start with planning, then you execute, get accountability partners, stop making excuses. And I pray that whatever I said in this video is going to help you to not make excuses and to do the things that God has called you to do. Amen. Thank you for tuning in, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share, turn on post notifications, and subscribe to promote my channel, please. And tell your friends to subscribe. Share it. I mean, please share it. Don't just tell me I'm doing a good job without sharing it. Please share it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.